Saturday, that's a really good football team we played against. There was times in the game that, we're playing with them toe to toe. And it's been that way for most of the season, periodically with every team we've played. The circumstances around the season, and hey, it's everybody, right? And I only know our circumstances. I don't know the circumstances anywhere else. But our kids play hard. There's lots of really good that we do every single week. You see a lot more younger guys that continue to develop and get an opportunity to contribute. I feel like our guys are gaining confidence. And that's part of it right now. I can tell you this: when the game's over with Saturday, we got a lot of guys hurting in our locker room. It's the number one thing for us is to win. And obviously we didn't get that done Saturday. But when you look at it, we'll come back in here today and figure out what we did really well, try to continue to develop that part of our football team, figure out the issues that we had during the game. Was it a preparation area? Was it a technique issue? Correct it and continue to move forward.
Songs how like me, poets at an arcade, soaking moonlit falls, unbroken past this inundated orb that we call home, and it's night and I'm alone and I'm alive.
Welcome to Talkin VAWLS, episode number 116. We just want to welcome you. Welcome to the land of fire-breathing dragons. My name is Boogie Bentley.
I'm VAWLS JP.
And I'm Dauber. What's happening?
We're going to break it down. We're going to get into it. We're going to dissect Big Jim Chaney's comments about a lack of leadership, a lack of fire-breathing dragons. If you want to go back and compare it to last year, I would say a lack of dog is what this team is missing. But we're also going to talk about the quarterback situation. We're going to break down Vanderbilt. We're going to get into it all. But first and foremost, welcome. We're glad that you're here. Rob Spence was hanging out bright and early. Says, greetings. I'm looking forward to this. Jamie West is here talking about Vanderbilt may not even have enough players to play the game on Saturday. We'll have to see how that plays out. IC86 is here and says the like button is smashed. And hello, everybody. That's right. Smash that like button. If you're new here, this is Talkin VAWLS. This is the Talkin VAWLS Network. We go live every Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern time. Also on Saturdays immediately following the games. But if you are new, do us a favor. Hit that thumbs up. It's right down below. It's a little this little thing like that. Just hit it. Hit that thumbs up. We would greatly appreciate it. It helps the channel. And also, if you're a basketball fan that's just wandered in here and you're lost and you don't know what's going on, we're talking about the Big Skin. You can check out the basketball show that JP and Dauber do. They just uploaded it last night immediately after the game. Highly recommend you go check it out after you check this out. But J Long 5000 is here. He says it's finally time to win. Seahawks making drinking games out of that press conference. That's it. Thanks, guys, for hanging out. Let's get into this thing. What do you guys want to start with? You want to start with Big Jim Chaney's comments this week? There's a lot to unpack. Big Jim Chaney, Brian Maurer, Samaglia. There's so much to talk about. Where do you want to start, Dauber? What do you want to talk about first?
Oh man, that is a lot. I mean, let's get right into Chaney. I think that is the comments he made are the absolute truth. It is something that we've touched on throughout this season. We lost a lot last year in guys like Batuli and Warrior and some of these others, especially on the defensive side of the ball. But, offensively, I thought we'd have guys like JG and Trey Smith and maybe even Gray, step up and kind of be some vocal leaders. But, man, there is nobody that wants to assume that role. And we've talked about it. JP alluded really early into the season that there seemed to be something wrong within the staff, and we've not even seen it from these coaches. We've not seen that fire, that intensity, that passion on the sidelines. You go back to Pruitt kicking the whiteboard. Yep. And where's that been? Where's the passion to win a game, the passion to do things right, the passion to hold the guy standing beside you accountable to pulling his weight? Where's that at?
It's not there, and it's a huge problem. It's been this way obviously all season long. I just think it's interesting that Chaney tells that to CBS. I guess when he sat down with them last week and talked to them. Because basically that is, in my opinion, that's calling out players on this team, and he's not lying about it, but I just think it's interesting that he said it. Because quite frankly, he's not been impressive this year either. So, it's almost like that he's passing the blame off onto these players. And I just think that that's even more evident of the disconnect that this coaching staff has. I don't think Chaney comes back next year. I know that there's a lot of people saying that he will and stuff. And I know Chaney, when he got hired, he said this was his job until he retires, or what he was hoping for, and so forth like that. I'm not for sure that he's back next year. I just think that, again, I think Pruitt's proven to be just a micromanager and way too hard to probably work with. And I think Chaney's probably has seen that. And I'll just say it. I don't expect him back. I have, obviously I have no inside information on that. So he's very likely to be back, and I'll be 100% wrong, like I am a lot. So, but to me, him stating that kind of just calls out this team, and it's a huge issue. And I know there was a video floating around this week also when Bailey got sacked. And we didn't have a single offensive lineman go over to him, even try to help him up. They basically all just walked off the field. How
many roughing the passer penalties took place Saturday? And there were no offensive linemen stepping up to fight for the quarterback.
And on that play where Bailey was sacked, you had pressure from both sides, and he was sandwiched. Walking off the field, the Mays brothers gave each other fist bump right after.
Yeah, I know. I saw that. Which, if you watch it, it looks like that the Mays brothers
they picked up
their block. So I don't think that was anything. I think that was just them two congratulating each other for doing their job.
That's like celebrating when you're getting beat by 4 touchdowns. Like,
I know. That's the thing.
Is laying on the ground.
Yeah,
your quarterback is laying on the ground. The thing I want to stress here, and we had somebody say it in the chat. It rolls downhill. It starts at the top. And the lack of leadership should start with Pruitt and go down through the rest of the staff into the team.
Yeah. Sean Calvert says, y'all don't think Saban is a micromanager? Yeah, but have you ever worked for a boss that's a micromanager, but they're really good? They know their stuff. It works. But if you work for a boss that's a micromanager, and excuse my language, but they don't know their head from their ass, it don't work. It does not work.
Exactly right. Yeah.
Jeremy Pruitt is what I was getting ready
to. That's what I was trying to type, except this computer that evidently came over on Noah's Ark.
You have a microphone and a platform, JP. You can say.
Oh, I know, but you all were talking, so I didn't want to interrupt. But yeah, to me, I'm sorry, Sean, but Nick Saban has 6 national championships. Like Boogie said, he's going to go down in history as the greatest college football coach of all time. Nick Saban has earned that. There's coaches, we see it every single year that want to go coach for him to rehabilitate their careers and stuff. So obviously, they're going to put up with it. Jeremy Pruitt is losing by 25 points a game every single week, no matter who we play. He hasn't earned any of that.
That's exactly right. You win games and you are in contention for conference championships, national championships every year. You can go to a post-game press conference and act the way Pruitt did the last 2 weeks. Say the things that Pruitt said. You lose multiple games by double digits, getting ready to be the biggest losing streak in Tennessee history, pushing records, bad records. You don't have the right to treat the media, people doing their job, the way Pruitt did last Saturday. It's night and day difference. You can't compare the way Saban does things and what he gets away with Pruitt right now, because they're not even on the same level.
And Pruitt's mindset and his attitude, and because he had that confidence and that swagger, and as goofy as kicking the whiteboard was, he had that aggression, man, and it's gone. He's gone from that fire on the field to, like you just said, Dauber, that fire in the press conference after the game, taking it out on the media, because I think he is mentally done. Thomas Maynard says, "Go fund me for JP's new computer." Guys, look, if you want to help JP out, throw a super chat. That's what he's going to pay for this laptop with, is Talkin VAWLS money. So you guys can help him by joining the channel for just 99 cents a month, or you can drop a super chat, and 1/3 of that will go into JP's pocket, and he needs all the help he can get.
Maybe Santa Claus will bring you one.
Yeah, maybe
Santa Claus works for Talkin VAWLS. Speaking of super chats, here's Vol92 with a $10 super chat. Thanks so much. We do appreciate it, especially JP right now as he looks for a new laptop. But he says, you can tell by listening to Pruitt speak that he knows he'll be the coach next year. Seems like he's not worried about a thing. Next year will be terrible. Another wasted season. And that's something I wasn't even really going to get into it, but now I kind of want to get into it because Vol92 just brought it up. But I think you're right. I think Jeremy Pruitt knows that he's back next year. And I'm so sick of hearing, give Jeremy Pruitt time. Why? Why does he deserve time? Like, if I don't do my job, I get terminated. That's the way the world works. So somebody tell me, and the Indy kid was dropping fire on the day after. That video he did Sunday, he challenged the people coming into the comment section. He challenged them. Give me a reason why Jeremy Pruitt deserves more time. And the only thing I continue to hear week in and week out is he deserves more time. Well, why? He deserves more time. Well, why?
I was on board with that until a couple weeks ago. Just the lack of any attempt to make in-game adjustments. The lack of just passion and intensity. I mean, you've said it. I don't know how many times, and especially the last two post games when we've watched the pressers. That's a defeated man. Yeah. He just. I don't know that he's in it right now. It seems like he's crying out that he doesn't want to be there. Just with his actions and the lack of intensity and man, and a lot of these kids, I know we're probably going to get into Maurer and his comments and some of that later, but a lot of these kids, I said to you guys in our group text the other day when that tweet came out and then was quickly deleted, a lot of these kids have no allegiance to the University of Tennessee. They just go there to play football, get an education. It's basically an interview for the NFL or, whatever they're going to pursue after football. But we as fans, we absolutely have the right to be critical. We invest, our hard-earned money into the program, through tickets and going to games and merchandise and all the time that we spend watching and pulling for the team, the memories that it creates. I remember sitting and watching games with my grandfather, with my dad, sitting with my kids and watching games. It is more than just, Maurer was saying something about, the blood, sweat, and tears and time that they invest into it. I know we don't get the blood, sweat, and tears, but we invest time and for those,
maybe some tears.
Yeah, a lot. Recently, a lot. But it's for those of us like the three of us. It's a passion, and it's ingrained into us. As much as we joke around and say, "Oh, we can't watch it. We're going to find something better to do." We won't.
No.
It's just the way it is.
We're not walking away. You're right. I mean, it's. And you're right. We're not spending time practicing. We're not putting in that blood and sweat like they are. But I would almost go out on a limb and say I have invested more time of my life than Brian Maurer has in the Tennessee football program.
Yeah, he's only been there for three years.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, he doesn't understand it all. Like I texted y'all the other day. I mean, in my opinion, I'm wish him the best, but he needs to move on.
Let's just get into Brian Maurer in that tweet. I want to talk about that. We'll talk about some Aglia. Hopkins lacrosse fan with a $5 super chat says, whatever JP needs, his followers will provide. Pick out whatever laptop you want. It will magically appear. Go Big Orange. I think Hop's going to send you a laptop. That's what I just read. Thanks for the super chat, Hop.
So. Yeah.
Glad you're here hanging out. All right, let's talk about Brian Maurer. Somebody was asking earlier in the chat what exactly he said. So the tweet came out, and from what I understand, he had tweeted something about a friend, and a lot of people, it was very vague, which a lot of these kids tend to do these days. They tweet out song lyrics or random phrases, and they just kind of throw it out there. And then, of course, you're talking about a ridiculously passionate fan base. Look, this little tiny small channel. Hold on, I'll put it up there in just a second, Dobber.
You got it?
No. I'll put your phone up there. This little tiny small channel that we have, this little tiny corner of the internet, we have people come after us. They come to our personal accounts, our Facebook group. It's all over the place. So imagine being a quarterback on the roster for the University of Tennessee. You are going to catch flag. That's the reality of the situation. So he put out a tweet. Dobber, go ahead and put it up there. We'll see if you guys can read it. Yeah, there you go. So you can see it. Let's get this clear. This isn't your team. You are a fan of us until you put in the blood, sweat. Well, he doesn't know how to spell, but he says sweat and tears. We do. This will not be your team. As a team, we spend countless hours, blah, 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 blah. So according to Brian Maurer, we're not entitled to opinions. We're not entitled to say anything. We have to just sit back and watch this team suck and lose 6 games in a row by double digits, and you are not entitled to say anything because it's their team. It's not our team. We don't buy tickets. We don't buy merchandise. We don't spend money. We don't pay for their scholarships. Clearly, it's his team. It's not ours. He's a self-entitled brat. I'm sorry. I try not to talk bad about kids. Get a life, man. Peyton Manning, Al Wilson, Leonard Little, Jason Witten, those guys would have never said something like that. And I know it's a different age with social media and all that stuff, but JP, what did his tweet piss you off as much as it pissed me off?
Yeah, it did. It did because, just like you said, I mean, he's saying that we don't have any rights as the fans. And, like I texted y'all yesterday when that came out, I said, doesn't he understand that the fans that put the money into this program, that support it, is the only reason why that he gets a full ride scholarship? I mean, that's the only reason why. If it wasn't for these fans, they wouldn't be able to offer 85 full ride scholarships. I mean, he's probably getting $100,000 degree down there, and maybe even more if he ends up sticking around and going to a grad school. So, I mean, just horrible. I mean, just horrible. But it's not surprising because like we've said, going back, that there's no leadership on this team. Obviously, why is Pruitt, why is the coaching staff not saying, guys, stay off of social media, don't get caught up into this stuff? But what do? They all have to go out and do that. And it just makes it worse. And yes, I mean, this is a very passionate fan base. I mean, we all know that. I mean, it is. But, that's one of the things that makes this fan base so great. I mean, it's one thing that makes this program, so great over the years. It is all the support. I mean, there's not many programs that can say that they, put 102,000 people in the seat, each and every week. And when this football team is winning, when they're actually putting out a quality product, you're not going to find a fan base that is more passionate and will get behind this football team. But the problem is we're 12 years in to just absolutely horrible football. And in my
we're
opinion,
done. We're done with that.
But how many games? You just said 12 years, and Dauber says we're done. How many times in those 12 years have the three of us bought a ticket, drove to Knoxville, sat in that stadium, and had a sense of belief that they're back? That's all we want. That's all we want.
Oh, well, I mean, the beginning of this year, riding in the winning streak, and then carrying over the first two games, the first half of the Georgia game, you're sitting here, all right, here we go.
They're back.
It's that anticipation that, okay, yeah, we're turning the corner. The train is keep chugging along up the tracks, and we're finally, back to where we should be. The thing is, these kids, they think it is their right to play for the University of Tennessee.
But do you not think that's a generational thing?
It is a privilege. Oh, and that's exactly what I said to you. That it is, this day and age where you've got social media, instant access to everything. First of all, you wouldn't have Leonard Little or Peyton Manning or Al Wilson or any of those guys like that airing their dirty laundry and all that out like this. If they have an issue, if there was an issue on those teams, it was dealt with in the locker room amongst the team. We would never have heard the first thing about it,
even by way of fist fight.
Yeah,
if need be. We're living in a different age. We're a different time than the Mannings and the Leonard Littles and the Al Wilsons. Michael Palmer with a $4.99 super chat. Thanks so much, Michael, for the support. We greatly appreciate it. On this Wednesday night, do you think that they overvalued recruiters on this staff instead of coaches, teachers? Definitely think so. I definitely think that is a major problem with this coaching staff.
Doesn't matter who you get in here if you're not developing. If they come in with all the talent in the world and they just stay right there and plateau, I mean that's where we are right now. You've got talent. Yeah. You've got talent not being utilized, standing on the sidelines because it's either been misevaluated or for whatever reason, some of these guys aren't seeing the field. It all comes down to it's coaching. It's coaching in misevaluation of talent, or it's coaching in lack of development.
I kind of want to keep going with this Brian Maurer thing. I want to get into Smaglia, but I do want to say we've got 140 people watching live right now. How sad is that? 6 straight double-digit losses going into Vanderbilt, and three casual fans that just happen to have a YouTube show. We got 140 people watching live. We're glad that you're here. We're glad that you guys choose us and support us. We appreciate it. You can do us a favor, just hit that thumbs up. We got 80 thumbs up right now. Let's get it to 100. I think we can do it. I think we can get it to 100. We would greatly appreciate it. Just hit that thumbs up. If you're new here, go ahead and subscribe. Join us every Wednesday night. Also, Saturdays immediately following the game. And also, if you're a basketball fan, tune in. Dauber JP do a great job with the basketball show. So I think you should check that out. But let's talk about Smaglia, who also tweeted out something very telling. Very telling. These kids, he tweets out that he's working on he's opting out. He's not going to finish the season, but he's working on his well-being and mental health and physical health due to hardships and struggles. Like if he had just said that and dropped it, that's fine. But due to many hardships and struggles within the program. Let's follow that up with Ramel Keaton, who has opted out to focus on academics. Anybody that has any clue what's going on in the world of college academics? They just finished up their finals this week, so they have no more school until after the season is over. So Ramel Keaton is going to go ahead and opt out and focus on academics when academics are not taking place. JP, how telling is that there is something going on in this locker room, whether it be coaches, players, or just across the board in general?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if Keaton, opting out. I mean, I don't think that his head's been into it all year anyway. I think I almost think it might be more writing on the wall for him that he's been passed up. But
Swain made a very good point this week. Ramel Keaton went to high school with Harrison Bailey. The week that Harrison Bailey gets named the starter, Keaton bells. That's your time to shine. Like, if you can get on the field, I would think that would be the time you would want to be on the field with Harrison Bailey.
Yeah, I mean, you would think, but who knows? But, to me, it all goes back to this coaching staff wasn't able to develop him. I mean, we thought that going into this year that Keaton was going to be one of the ones to take Jennings and Callaway's place, and it just never produced. I mean, he just wasn't consistent. Every time the ball was thrown his way, more often than not that he dropped it. We still cannot find any kind of wide receivers down there that can get off of any kind of man press coverage. I feel like that we've been talking about that for about 15 years for Tennessee wide receivers. I mean, it's like over and over and over. But, I mean, I would imagine that there's going to be some more opt out or transfer out. They've been some things that I think that D. Beckwith has been retweeting and stuff like that, and things that he's been saying. I mean, obviously, these kids are not happy. But I don't think that's all just at Tennessee, but, obviously there's something within that locker room that's just not right. And to me, it all starts with leadership, because there's no way if you had somebody like Al Wilson on this team that this would be going on, at least out publicly, I mean, you wouldn't. I mean, Al Wilson would have absolutely destroyed Brian Maurer if he had, playing with him. I mean, he would have. Behind the scenes, he would have absolutely destroyed Brian Maurer. And I doubt anyone probably even hardly said anything to Maurer except, hey, take that tweet down. I mean, that's just the thing. It's just it's time for some leadership, and it's got to start at the top. And it's not happening. So, I get tired of beating that dead horse in the ground, because, I've said it on here time and time again that Tennessee, we all needed Jeremy Pruitt to be successful. He may still end up being successful, but I think that's very, very unlikely at this point. And personally, I think Tennessee is in for several more years of very, very dysfunctional and underperforming seasons.
Let me hit this super chat, and then we'll come back to that. William Poole for $2. Thanks, William, for the super chat and the support. We appreciate it. He says we live in the age of the snowflake and coaches DGAF. You can figure out what that means. Maybe. I mean, when you're getting a big fat check put in your bank account, doesn't matter if you win or lose. When you're on record of saying, if I don't succeed here, I'll just go back to Alabama with a big fat stack of cash.
Yeah.
Who cares?
I mean, that's what I don't understand.
My job told me they were going to pay me this huge stack of cash for 5 years, whether I succeeded or not. Like I was guaranteed money. I'd be sitting here with my legs propped up. I'd have my legs propped up. Sam M with a $4.99 super chat says, "Hey fellas, UK fan here. Love the Wednesday and after game show. Tennessee fans are very lucky to have this. Go Cats." Thanks, Sam. That means a lot. And we've heard that a lot from so many different fan bases saying that they wish they had a show like this for their team. And, you guys don't see half the hate and the negative stuff that comes our way. And sometimes it does kind of get me down. Like it's like nobody likes to hear somebody talk bad about them, and one week they come after me, one week they come after Dauber, the next week they come after JP. It is what it is. But like comments like that, it makes it all worthwhile because we have never claimed to be anything special. And a dude in the comment section last week said, this show sucks. You should just crack open a beer, call your friend and record it. It would be way better. And it's like, man, that's what this show's supposed to be. Crack open a beer and come sit down with 3 of your friends and let's talk about Tennessee football. That's what this show is. It's not Rocky Top Insider. It's not VolQuest. It's not CBS Sports. It's Talkin VAWLS, and it's just 3 dudes that know each other in real life. 3 legitimate friends that just like to hang out and talk football.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's the thing.
Group hug. I
mean, we're not professionals. I mean, Boogie is pretty close to a professional podcaster with all that he does. But I mean, we just enjoy this. We enjoy hanging out, the 3 of us, but we enjoy what we've got with the regulars and all the comments and back and forth in the chat, because every one of you all are just as passionate and just into this as much as we are. And for those of you all that get it, that's what it is. Yeah, I mean, it's essentially group therapy. We get on here and commiserate, and now JP and I are into that part where hopefully we've got some happy stuff going on with the basketballs. So if you need a little pep, a little shot in the arm,
something exciting to talk
something
about.
exciting for the Big Orange, you can join us. Make sure you like and subscribe and get the notifications when we're going to go live with that, because we talked last night. We may be trying to do some post games rather than a regular type show. So you'll just have to stay tuned and keep up to date with that. But yeah, that's what it is. It's just a bunch of fans coming together that have a passion, and we have a platform for any of these other fans of other teams. If you want one for your team,
do it.
Go out and do it. I mean,
it's so easy to do it. Just do it.
Yeah. I kind of got my arm twisted into doing this, and I was hesitant.
So uncomfortable.
But man, I so much enjoy this.
So funny. So funny. I don't know that
we
I
have
can do
fun
it.
with it.
We're like, just do it. You can do it. I said, just act like we're in the car driving down the road. Like we could talk. We could drive to the beach for a golf trip and spend the entire 6.5 hours talking about UT football. I was like, that's legitimate. That's all it is. That's exactly what the show is. That's it. That's it. We got 180 people watching. We're over 100. We got 108 thumbs up. We appreciate that. So we always got to raise the bar. Let's get it to 150. We're at 109. Let's get it to 150. We would greatly appreciate it. But we are glad that you're here. We hope that you will join us Saturday after the Vanderbilt game. They're playing at 4:00 on the SEC network. So we'll probably go live around 8-ish, something like that. If anybody, I set the times for the streams way late, but it's always as soon as we can get on after the game. So just join us immediately following the game. Darian, $1.99 super chat. Thanks so much for the support. He says, you guys are getting me through this piss poor season. Thanks for the super chat. You guys get us through it. That's what you guys get us through it. It's so true. It's so true. Like Dauber said, so many of our regulars, like people that have been coming here, like even going back before Dauber, and then before Dauber was the Indy Kid, and then before the Indy Kid was Snake, like going back 5-6 years, man. We didn't even do it live. We just recorded it and uploaded it. And some of these names like Troy Lee and like Tim Bradley, like so many of you guys I remember from those old days. It's really cool. We've come so far. And
I can remember 1, 2.
Oh yeah. Yeah. We used to have to count down to make sure our audio was synced up.
It would take you like all day to
awful
to mix it all together. Yeah.
And JP's still working on that.
Yeah. If his internet would ever get dialed in, dude. Oh my gosh, we have come so far. It's so funny
Hey,
to
man,
think
it's
back to those days.
AOL. What do you expect? It's
I remember
AOL internet.
the day that JP messaged me and he's like, dude, we got to go live. We got to get this show live. Like, so many people said it'd be better live. And I'm like, dude, I don't know how. And so we spent the whole day like Googling it. We did a test stream that night. A lot of fun. James Barger says, have you guys ever thought about taking calls? Yeah, well, James, we have. We've done a few Monday call-in shows. And that's something that I'm looking at for 2021. I'm thinking if this channel, we have gained 1,000 subscribers just this football season. If this channel continues to grow at that rate, then I think we're probably maybe looking at 3 shows next year. Maybe we'll do a Wednesday show where we preview the game coming up on Saturday. We'll do a Saturday post-game show, and then maybe do a Monday show that's pretty much dedicated to call in. And you know, we've done that a few times this year. It's been a lot of fun having you guys on. All right, let's man, that was like a trip down memory lane.
Yeah, I mean, we got way off track there, but it was good. It was good.
It's fun. It's good fun. Let's I do want to go back and talk a little bit about the Florida game, because and some people in the chat or the comment section were saying, man, you guys are very emotional after a game. And that's kind of part of the fun, right? We go live immediately after the game. It's very emotional. We say a lot of things that may or may not be accurate at the time. We have no time to do research or rewatches. So I rewatched the game, and I do want to say, look, I was pissed Saturday mainly because Jeremy Pruitt was going with Harrison Bailey. So I was very upset when he pulled Harrison Bailey. And I said some things about Chandler too that were probably not accurate. Look, I think Chandler ran very hard in the second half, especially in the fourth quarter. His touchdown late in the game, he broke probably 3 tackles and from the 10-yard line got a touchdown. Like, I think he's been battling injuries all year too. He's a great runner. Eric Gray's better, but they complement each other well. But I do want to talk about JT Shrout and Harrison Bailey, because I thought Bailey did some things good. Obviously, he didn't turn the ball over. His stat line looked good. Shrout came into the game 11:15 to play, down 31-7. A lot of people are praising him and acting like he's the next Peyton Manning and like we've never seen him play. We saw him play last year, and he never proved to be the guy. So when I said Saturday he's had his opportunity, a lot of people came at me and said he's not had his opportunity. Yeah, he has. He had it last year, and he never proved to be the guy. So, you know, I know he was kind of limited this year. He looked good. He looked great. His stat line looks really good. He led 2 90-plus yard touchdown drives. But if you sit back and look at it, you can say whatever you want to say. Florida was not bringing pressure the entire time he was in the game. They did not dial up blitzes. They sat back in coverage. He still looked good. He still made some nice throws. He made some plays with his legs. But really nice throw to Bayless Jones late in the game. But I think we have a quarterback controversy, because once again, Jeremy Pruitt mishandles the quarterback situation. And I think I don't think anybody knows who they want to be quarterback. I think we're split again.
And I think that has caused some division within the team.
Yep.
You know, we touched on Palmer and some comments he's made, and the fact that you know, going across the middle, Bailey put a good ball out there, and he seemed to not even make an attempt to catch that one pass.
How many times did he do this Saturday?
Yeah.
I lost a lot of respect for him Saturday. A lot. But
it's a mess that the way that the entire quarterback situation's been handled. If you go back to last year, yeah, there were some injuries, but when there were periods where quarterback play was one of the things that was keeping this team back, he went to a revolving rotation of the guys, and that is when Shrout got his chance. That's when Maurer got his chance, and then Maurer couldn't play a whole game without getting hurt. You know, and I think JG played better not starting and coming off the bench. I look back to that, and yeah, that was a whole mess of, you know, typically when you rotate quarterbacks, you're not having success, but they did, and they worked it well. And then you go to this year, and you're struggling at that position, but you don't make a change. When you do bring somebody in, it's with 7 minutes left, down 20-plus points, and all you do is allow them to hand the ball off.
And answer me this. Why can Jarrett Garantano throw more touchdowns to Kentucky than he throws to his own team, but yet he continues to start week in and week out, but yet when Shrout comes in, he throws one interception and doesn't see the field again until Florida. And also, JP, tell me this. Why did he not – he didn't even travel to Arkansas. He didn't even travel, but yet now he's the guy.
No, I don't have any clue. I mean, he has botched this quarterback room from the absolute get-go. I mean, he's absolutely botched it since he's been hired. I mean, you know, he let Tyson Helton tell the Phoenix kid to look around. We didn't want Sam Howell, you know, who's playing pretty dang good over at North Carolina. I mean, you know, either one of those kids. If we'd assigned either one of those kids. Yeah, that. And then obviously the kids that he's got in the quarterback room, they're not developing them. I mean, you know, I don't really know what Chris Winke's doing. Honestly, I do not know.
Earning a paycheck. That's it.
And I mean, if he is back next year, if Chris Winke is back on this staff, then there's no hope. I mean, there is no hope at all because he couldn't develop. I mean, he would make Peyton Manning look like a backup. I mean, the guy's horrible. I mean, it's just the way it is. I mean, he can't develop anything. Isn't the story on him that he was with the Rams and Jared Goff was absolutely terrible, was really struggling, and he gets rid and Rams move on from him, and then Goff takes him all the way to the Super Bowl and has been a pretty decent quarterback since then. Yep. So, I mean, that ought to tell you something right there. So, I don't know. I mean, I'm just – if it's not obvious, which I think it is, I'm over this entire coaching staff. I mean, I'm over them. They don't show any emotion. I see people talking about that here in the chat. There's no emotion with this coaching staff. Just the way that they won't play any of these young kids. I mentioned about it Saturday after the game. It's just the personnel. You know, we went right down the field and scored against Florida, and what do? They take out Carvin and put Mays back in at center. Why? Why do that? Why not continue to roll with what drove us down the field 96 yards or 94 yards for a touchdown? It makes zero sense. I mean, I just don't understand it. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense at all.
Why do they continue to rotate the offensive line? They've done it every spring since Pruitt's been there. Yep. They rotate the offensive line. Yep. And then the quarterback position is rotating. Why have the defensive backs gotten worse? Why are the linebackers why has Henry T gotten worse? And I'll probably take some heat for that. I'm sure people will be in the comment section after the video talking about how great Henry T is. Yeah, he was great last year. He struggled this year. And then somebody coming at us talking about, you know, how great Banks played against Florida. No, he didn't. Jeremy Banks plays good in the run game because he's aggressive and he overcommits to the run game. So when they throw the ball, terrible.
So lost in coverage.
Jonathan told him, Boogie's wearing an ETSU hat on a Talkin VAWLS podcast. That says it all. You speak facts. I was trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to get to, or do you guys want to go ahead and let's transition this thing to Vanderbilt. I had some clips from Pruitt talking about the quarterbacks. It's not worth listening to. Let's get into Vanderbilt.
You know, looking at Vanderbilt, Tennessee, Vanderbilt, you always are going to get the best game from Vanderbilt. You look at these guys playing a young quarterback. I think he's leading the country in yards per game for a freshman. When you talk about, I think he's had 300-yard games where he's passed for that amount of yardage. They always play hard on defense. You know, just looking at them in special teams, they create issues there with some unorthodox looks. But you know, our kids are excited about going and playing. I felt like our kids played hard Saturday. They continue to do that and work hard. So we got to go back and go to work this week.
Let's talk about this Vanderbilt game. We do have 190 people watching live right now. We've got 125 thumbs up. You guys haven't got there yet. I challenge you. I challenge the Talkin VAWLS faithful. Let's get it to 150. We're at 125. I need 25 of you to just drop down, hit that thumbs up. We would greatly appreciate it. Quick reminder, we will be live on Saturday immediately following the Vanderbilt game. Also, make sure you check out the day after from the Indy kid. He sleeps on it. He takes a night to rest. Let his emotions cool. He comes back on Sunday. He drops great videos. I want you guys to come check them out, comment, hit the thumbs up on those videos. And then also, what are you guys doing? You're leaning towards Tuesday. Is that what you guys said for basketball?
Yeah, I think we're gonna go post game.
Okay, so make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Make sure you're dialed in. If you love Talkin VAWLS, you can hit that little bell for notifications. It will send you an alert to your phone, let you know when we're going live. You can ignore it on Thursdays. You can ignore it. I'm perfectly okay if you ignore it when the Wrestling Council goes live. We talk about AEW, the WWE, all that fun stuff. You can ignore it. That's perfectly fine. And if it really bothers you, you can leave comments and let me know. And it's fine. I'm sorry that I like wrestling, and I have good friends that love wrestling. We have a good time on Thursday nights. But make sure you're dialed in for, like I said, the post-game shows, the basketball, all that good stuff. If you do happen to like wrestling, come check it out. But let's talk about this Tennessee Vanderbilt game. If you want me guys to go ahead and you want me to depress you right off the bat, Tennessee is 5-5 against Vanderbilt over the last 10 years. 10 years. 10 years. 10 years. We talk about kids and turning them into Tennessee fans. 50% against Vanderbilt over the last 10 years, and also lost 2 of the last 3. So Vanderbilt, obviously, some people, let me hit this real quick. J Long 5000 just became a YouTube member. Thank you so much for the support. It's just 99 cents a month. You get access to custom Talkin VAWLS emojis. I'll drop some in the chat right now so you guys can see them. We got Pruitt, we got Barnes, we got an orange blazer, we got all kinds of fun stuff. You get access to those. You can drop them either in the live chat or in the comment section. Throw a power T in the comment section to let people know that you are elite. You are a member of the channel. Or if you are really feeling giving, you can become a Talkin VAWLS faithful member for $2.99 a month. Either way, we appreciate the support. Vanderbilt. A lot of people saying that Vanderbilt's not going to play this game. They're gonna check out because of COVID. They don't want to play. Their head coach has been fired. They have nothing to play for. These seniors have beat Tennessee 2 out of 3 years. You don't think for 1 second they want to go out beating Tennessee 3 out of 4 years? You don't think that when they don't go play in the NFL and they're working some regular job at a bank or wherever, and they tell people we beat Tennessee 3 out of, you don't think they care? They care. They want this. This is their Super Bowl. Tennessee might not care. Tennessee might not come to play. Let me tell you something. Vanderbilt wants this game, and they're going to bring it on Saturday. So I think this game is going to take place, and they're going to bring their A game on Saturday. Dobber, do you think we see Tennessee Vanderbilt Saturday, 4 o'clock?
Yeah. I think we see it. I think it's going to be a slobber knocker. Tennessee's bad. We've spent the last 50 minutes talking about reasons why. Starting at the top with coaching, going down through. You got players that aren't executing. The stat you threw out there, 5-5 of the last 10 years against Vandy. That's your in-state rival. And it's sad that we are now, to that point. Used to November games, that was, Fulmer's time to go 3-0. Put the cherry on top. It's just this team is struggling, but Vanderbilt is worse. Vanderbilt is, they had a game a couple weeks ago where I don't think they crossed midfield. It's like you said, they've got their own issues. Mason was let go. There's all kinds of stuff going on down there, but they get up to play Tennessee. This is their bowl game. They want. They've got the little brother complex. Used to that used to be Neyland West. We'd have more fans down there, but the tables have turned. They play us hard, and like you said, they're 500 against us the last 10 years. Are we going ahead and doing predictions, or are we?
Well, hold on a second. Go Vols 2005, all over again. This fan base is an emotional wreck, including me. I'm a disaster right now. What do you mean all over again? If he loses to Vanderbilt, I dare you to show up Saturday and hear what I have to say. I dare you. Well, let's let JP do his opening thoughts on Vanderbilt, and then we'll get into predictions.
Yeah, I mean, Vanderbilt is horrible. 40-some scholarship players. I was on record saying that I didn't think that they'd play. It appears that they're going to play. I still wouldn't be surprised if they don't come up tomorrow or Friday and end up opting out of this thing. I don't think that they really have any interest in playing. I'll be honest with you. I mean, I know that they always play Tennessee tough. I think that if Tennessee comes out with the same, at least, emotions that they showed Saturday and actually, putting forth the effort that they put forth against Florida, I think Tennessee wins this game, by at least 14 to 17 points. But that's the sad part, because if we look at these other teams in the SEC that have played Vandy this year, all the good teams are even. I mean, I don't know what Missouri was favored by or Kentucky was favored by when they played them, but that's the sad part. Is we opened up, I think, as a 14-point favorite. I think that tells you just how far that this football program has to go and the direction that it's in with Pruitt and his coaching staff. Is that you're only a 14-point favorite against Vanderbilt, a perennial cellar dweller who only has 40-some scholarship players. I mean, this ought to be at least a 28-point spread, if not more. It's just sickening. I mean, it's just absolutely sickening that, throwing out that the last 5 years, it's been 5-5. I mean, it's just absolutely sickening. So, but, I think Tennessee, like I said, I mean, unless they just totally just checked out, from last week to this week. I mean, like I said, I think if they come with the same type of play, if they put forth the same effort, I think that this should be a pretty easy win. Now, again, I don't care if they beat them by 60. That does not make me feel any better at all about Jeremy Pruitt and the direction of this football program. Zero.
No, the bottom line is, at this point, I think if Jeremy Pruitt and the Tennessee Vols go out and they win, whether it be by 14 or 60, this fan base is going to be exactly where they're at right now. If they go out and lose on Saturday, I think we're going to see a lot of the sunshine pumpers change their tone real quick. I think everybody checks out if he loses. I think Jeremy Pruitt is coaching for his life on Saturday. If they lose it, he's done. He is done. Maybe he comes back next year because COVID's an excuse, whatever. He's done. Nobody's going to believe. Nobody's going to buy in. And if you do, you're a freaking idiot. I'm sorry. You are an idiot if he loses to Vanderbilt on Saturday and you believe he is the guy. There are so many questions as it is, and so many people like to come at me when I post my fun clickbait, and it makes them show up and watch the show. They come at me, and they're so aggressive, and they're so mad, and they talk about how he needs time. If he loses to Vanderbilt and you're still coming at me, you're delusional. You're delusional. Let's make our predictions.
Problem is I didn't see any kind of sense of urgency on Pruitt in that press conference today. That little bit I watched, I only watched 8 minutes, had to turn it off, about fell asleep.
No, it's like somebody said earlier. I think he knows. I think he's already talked to Fulmer, and I think he's already been told, look, it's COVID year. You're getting a free pass. You'll be back next year. Let's focus on the future. I think he's been told that. I think he knows that. I think he knows he's not going anywhere.
Fulmer gave him the vote of confidence. Fulmer
Sure.
said, we need to be behind Pruitt. He reminds me of Johnny Majors and his first 3 years. And
what a dumb comment to make.
Listen, that was a different day and time. You can't compare, 30 years ago to this day and age in college football.
He was trying to defend Pruitt without putting out too bold of a statement. That's what he was trying to do.
It didn't work.
No, it didn't go over well at all. Derek Rogers has become a member of the channel. Thanks so much, Derek, for the support. We appreciate it. I hope you'll throw those custom emojis into the chat right now. Let people know. Let people know you're a member, Derek. We would greatly appreciate it. And thank you so much for the support.
I want to throw this out there, though. Fulmer's got to say that, though, because this is Fulmer's hire. If Fulmer comes out and fires Pruitt right now, that says he's wrong. That says his first big move as athletic director was wrong.
Well, loyalty buried him during his coaching tenure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think, Pruitt's own words when he made the comments about letting Brambaugh go. If something's not working out, you can't just keep doing it. You got to take care of it right then. Yep. I've been a Pruitt guy, and the more we go along, things are. I just keep seeing red flags.
The sad thing is, I'm still a Pruitt guy. Like, there are times he says things, and I'm like, he gets it. He understands what it takes to win in the SEC. And then I see his post-game pressers, and I'm like, you're losing me, man. But there are so many, like you said, you just said the word red flags. There are so many red flags that go up that I cannot believe in Jeremy Pruitt.
The thing is, last year, he seemed to learn from mistakes. He seemed to get better as a coach and improve as a coach. And those things were applied to the team and made the team better. This year, he's just doing stupid stuff, and he keeps doing it and repeating it. And he's like, the hell with everybody else. I'm going to do it this way, and I'm going to do what I want to do. And everybody's complaining about the quarterback. I'm just going to keep playing the quarterback.
Yep.
And it's just not working out. You've got fans are always going to complain. Fans are always going to play armchair quarterback. But when you've got national media, when you've got other people questioning stuff, and it's not just calls, it's game management, it's clock management, it's all these things that you're like, man, great, absolutely great coordinator. Don't get me wrong, but it's some of these other things that come with being the man, come with being the head coach, that maybe it's just too much for him. And being too much for him, maybe he's trying to micromanage and trying to control everything, when in reality, you're only as good as the people around you. And that's what Fulmer proved with the staff that he had around him. Yeah. And that's one of the things I thought Fulmer would convey to Pruitt is surround yourself with good coaches who are going to coach the players. But like we talked about earlier, I think he's brought in elite recruiters, and we've started getting kids that we weren't getting before, but nobody's doing anything to develop these kids.
Yep. Oh yeah, we see it. We see it across the board. They're getting worse. They're not getting better. Let's make some quick predictions, and then we'll get out of here. I mean, I look, I don't have a whole lot to say about Vanderbilt. The stats I looked up today were very depressing. The 5-5 over the last 10 years. Tennessee's lost 2 of the last 3. But the bottom line is Tennessee has way more talent than Vanderbilt has. Vanderbilt doesn't have a head coach. I don't know. Pruitt said in the press conference he's going to go with Harrison Bailey and JT Shrout. JT Shrout's got a big arm, man. He's got a huge arm. I think I could see whichever quarterback starts going out and throwing for 300 yards against this Vanderbilt team. I could see it happening and not be surprised at all. I think Tennessee wins, and I don't think it's really even close. I think I'm going Tennessee 28, Vanderbilt 10, which is sad that I say that's not close for this game.
I look for it to be just a pretty boring football game because that's pretty much the way that Tennessee plays. I could see this game as a great opportunity to get Shrout and Bailey some potential time to show, maybe what they have in the passing game. But I don't think that this coaching staff realizes that. And I look for them to pretty much just run the football, try to shorten the game because I think that they want the season over with myself. I don't think Tennessee will have any problem with this game. But it'll be boring. It'll be ugly. It won't be anything that'll go down in the record books as an exciting game. I'm going to say, because Vegas is usually right, I'm going to say probably 28-14 Tennessee.
I said earlier, this Tennessee team is not very good, but this Vanderbilt team is worse.
They're terrible.
They're terrible. Tennessee's last in the SEC in third down conversions. That we've not scored over 20 points in the last 5 games. But this team continues to play hard, even if they're not executing at a high level.
Yep.
And I think, like Boogie said, this team has too much talent to lose to a undermanned, 40 some scholarship players available Vanderbilt team who has just lost their coach. Vanderbilt gets excited to play Tennessee and typically plays Tennessee tough. But I think that the Vols go, and I agree with JP. I think they're going to run the ball. I don't know that they're going to give whoever is out there a chance to throw it because we've not really seen that all year. Heck, maybe they do. But I've got the Vols winning 27-14.
All right. Pretty close. We're pretty close across the board. That's going to wrap it up for this episode of Talkin VAWLS. We appreciate you guys hanging out. A lot of people in the chat saying how much they love the show. We love you guys. We're glad that you're here. We're glad that you're hanging out. A lot of people asking about merch in the comment section. If you want Talkin VAWLS merch, does anybody else have it on or just Dauber's got a hat on, but it's no longer for sale. If you want Talkin VAWLS merch, the links for everything is in the description. You can get a Talkin VAWLS hoodie. You can get the Talkin VAWLS State Pride, which you can see the logo up in the top right-hand corner. We also have Egghead cartoon shirts, which you get a cartoon emoji of Dauber with that big bushy beard. You can see it. You can see it right there on his microphone. That big beard. You can see me hiding behind the microphone. You can see a miserable JP with a bag over his head. There's cartoon emoji shirts, all that good stuff. It's all in the description. Go check it out. Show your support. Buying merchandise probably helps this channel more than anything because not only are you throwing a few bucks our way, but you are advertising. You are showing your support, which we greatly appreciate. But that's it. That's going to wrap it up for this episode. Make sure you join us Saturday immediately following the game. The game's at 4 o'clock. We'll probably go live 8, 9 o'clock, something like that. We'll probably chat, have a good time with you guys. Probably even watch Jeremy Pruitt make some stupid comments in the post-game press conference. That seems to be the new trend. It seems to be what we do on this show. You guys seem to enjoy it. And make sure you tune in for the Indie Kid Sunday, the day after. He will sleep on it. He'll talk about the game. And then also he'll do the Orange Blazer on Monday. He's going to talk about the basketball team. And then Dauber and JP will go live on Tuesday. Subscribe to this channel. There is so much Tennessee football, basketball content. Don't miss out. Hit that bell for notifications. But for Dauber, for Vols JP, my name is Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.
The songs howl like me, poets sat in arcades, soaking moonlit falls, unbroken past this inundated orb that we draw home, and it's night and I'm alone and the dogs howl like me. Poets sat in our chains, soaking